I spoke with D&D's very own lore master about why dumb monsters can be incredibly fun, and why asking about the motivations and evolution of a creature can lead to great stories.
The last game I ran started with the characters in the tavern, because of course you have to start with the characters in the tavern, and a cow comes through the window. It just crashes through the window and lands on the table, and there's chaos and everything. And it's because a hill giant just kicked it through, the window of the tavern. And so the characters being first level, they can't fight a hill giant, and so they have to figure out essentially why this hill giant is so angry. And when they run out there, it's yelling for Big Head. And what happens is that the townsfolk get a big giant paper mache hill giant head and stand on one of their shoulders and come out and talk to it. And the hill giant's so dumb that like it negotiates with Big Head and then goes away. Of course, problems arise when the paper mache Big Head goes missing, and the hill giant's still angry, and adventure ensues, right? I think that there's lots of things in monsters in D&D lore that we laugh at or poke fun of, but it's just because we haven't given them enough thought. We haven't given them the opportunity to surface what's really cool about them. And I think one of them's the Mimic, right? Which is, I think, if you go on the internet, it's one of those like, this is the dumbest monster ever kind of a thing. It's a treasure chest that eats you, or that kind of thing. And honestly, if you think about it, the Mimic's really fascinating. Like, what does a Mimic look like when it's not mimicking something? Right? Is it a pile of goo? Is it purple? Like what does it do? Like, and then like, how big or flat or whatever can a Mimic get? Can it mimic a tablecloth? Like, what's happening? And so if you start to sort of think about those questions and then like come up with the right answers, neat ideas start happening. And like, maybe the Mimic isn't just the treasure chest that eats you. It is a predator, obviously. It eats meat, and it's a carnivore and so on. But it's taking this shape and it's hiding as objects. Like, is there another predator that goes after mimics? Is that why it turns itself into objects and things like that? Is there, does the mimic mimic these other things so that it can just go after things like rats and so on? Like, it typically wouldn't attack an adventurer because they're big and they're scary. Why would you attack that thing when you can eat rats and just go off and be a normal predator? And so that kind of, then it's like, well, maybe the Mimic could at some point be the party's friend, right? Could you have a Mimic that's basically the player character's pet, right? And there's all kinds of adventure opportunity there, and fun for the DM role-playing, like, because now you've got this thing that's in the party that's their pet, and they have to feed it and take care of it and stuff like that. But it's a thing that can turn into other things. And maybe there's fun things that you can do with role-playing. Well, like, every time they're looking for it, like, and they need it for something really critical, it's turned into their bedroll and doesn't want to be bothered, or whatever it might be, right? And there's all kinds of interesting things that you can do with what seems to be a really silly creature.